Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back, and today I have an interesting video for you. If you like these two Olights that you see in front of you, this is model M2R Pro Warrior. If you like these and you want something a little bit simpler, meaning something without the side switch, but just has a tail cap switch, I think you're really going to like this new offering from Olight. This is the Olight Odin. This is a desert tan version, and as you can see, the specs are very similar to the M2R Pro Warrior, with a couple of exceptions. Comparing it next to the M2R Pro Warrior, you can see that the throw is the same, 300 meters, but it's 200 lumens brighter. So that's pretty cool. And as you can see, it does not have the side switch, the mode switch on the side. So it's a very simple design. This light is designed to be mounted to a firearm, and more specifically a rifle or a shotgun. Now if we look at the back of these packages and you want to compare these specs, feel free to pause your screen and then you can give yourself the rundown of what these lights are in reference to each other and how they compare with each other. Now, as you can see on the M2R Pro Warrior, you don't have a moonlight mode, you don't have a low, medium, high, blah, blah, blah. You just have low, 300 lumens, and then you have high with a couple different step downs. So right here on low, you get 300 lumens for 8 hours, 118 meters of throw, 3481 on the candela, and then you go up to high for 2000 lumens. That'll last 2 minutes. Then to prevent the light from overheating, it'll step down to 1000 lumens for 9 minutes. And then again, steps down to 760 for just over 2 hours. And then the last step down comes down to low for an additional 24 minutes. On the 2000 lumen mode, before the step down, you get 300 meters of throw, 22,500 on the candela, impact resistant down to 1.5 meter, and weatherproof, or should it say waterproof, so that means IPX8 underwater down to 2 meters. The length of this light, 136.5 millimeters or 5.37 inches, and the bezel diameter 29 millimeters or 1.14 inches. The weight with the battery is 216 grams or 7.62 ounces. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. I'm very, very, very excited to share this with you guys. So as always, you can see, thank you for being a part of our Olight family. Your support is why we do this. Then you see this card talks about the insulation film. It talks about how the mounting system works a little bit, and it also talks about the push or the pressure switch that installs on the tail cap of the light. Now this part right here is something new, which I really like, and I'll talk about that a little more here in a second. So opening up the package, wow, front and center you can see the Olight Odin. Let me get that out. Packaged very well. Let's get a closer look at that right off the bat. That is really pretty. Look at that. So if you look at the head, the lens and everything looks very similar to the M2R Pro Warrior. It does have a different bezel ring around there. And for the record, in talking about this video, I did take the strike bezel off of my M2R Pro Warrior, and it does fit here. So the head is exactly the same. So these bezel rings can fit on this light. That is just a beautiful light. No mode switch. Okay, so you just have the tail cap switch. It's very similar to what we see on the M2R Pro Warrior and the Warrior X Pro. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. We're going to get rid of the insulation film. There's a look at the tail cap switch. Very nice build. Looks very familiar. There is the insulation film that we need to get rid of. And now let's pop out that battery and take a look at that. We have a 3.6 volt 21700 lithium ion rechargeable battery, 18 watt hours, and it operates at 5,000 milliamp hour. This is a custom Olight proprietary battery, but it's very nice, good battery. And looking down inside the battery tube, let me get some light here. Let's go to low here if I can get that going on there. You can see inside the battery tube, and that looks identical to what you see when you look inside of an M2R Pro Warrior. Looks identical. So putting the battery back in, you want to put this proprietary in down in towards the head of the light, and then the tail cap switch comes on just like this. Very similar. When it squishes over that O-ring, that's what creates that IPX8 waterproof standard. So the tail cap switch operation is identical to the M2R Pro Warrior. So what we can do is we can give this a half press. You'll see 300 lumens for 8 hours, and then if we let our thumb up, it's momentary. But if we do it quickly, like a quick half press, you'll see that it turns on to a constant on. If we deep press and hold, we're going to get that 2,000 lumens with all them little step downs. And then if we let it up after a deep press, it's momentary. If we want it constant, we're just gonna go deep press and let it up quickly. Now we're on 2,000 lumens. There's no doubt about what's going on there. So it's very similar to the Warrior X Pro. So here you can see this mounting system that's brand new, has a couple cool things about it. You have a lock or an unlock. Right now you can see that arrow is pointing to the unlock portion. So if we take that arrow and we twist it, you'll see that the little arrow there is pointing at locked. So this light is not going to come off of this mount. But if we unlock it and then we push this little button, it allows the light to come off of this mount. This mount has little jaws that open and close. And that's how we get that thing to work. That's how we get it to lock in. That's how the mounting system works, which I think is super cool. And the cool thing, the other thing that's really cool is you can mount this thing like this too. So you go like that, boom, and it locks in. And then of course you can lock right there. And so that would give you a side mounted option. But if you don't want the side mounted option, you can mount it like this. Clicks into place, lock that bad boy, and it ain't going nowhere. You can also operate off of the previous version pressure switches. So if you had an M2R Pro Warrior pressure switch, you can use this old pressure switch. You get a momentary or you get a constant. Okay, so it's pretty cool. You get a momentary or a constant on. Pretty cool. Now what they've done though with this Odin, and if I continue my unboxing, pull this out, you'll see down in the bottom there's a new pressure switch that I'm very excited about right here. Okay, there's more stuff in the box, so I'll get to that in a minute. So what this reminds me of, it reminds me of something like this. You pull this collar back, like on my air hose here, you pull this back, insert this in, and then let it slide forward. That's exactly what they've done here with the Odin. That pops in. Right now it's not locked until I push this forward. Once that collar gets pushed forward into the lock position, that is not coming off. To unlock it, you got to pull this collar back and then the thing will magnetically come off. So that is just super cool. Look at that. Locked, unlocked, locked, ain't going nowhere, unlock, and it comes right off. So that pressure switch, man, I really like the way they did that. Super cool. And again, momentary on, constant on. Same type of operation. In fact, the pad looks identical to the previous version, with the exception of the port here, the part here that connects to the light. Other than that, it's pretty much identical. But I love this new locking system. They got these little balls that go into that little groove. It just reminds me of like an air hose. It's super, super cool. Very effective. So the retention is going to be really good on that. Very cool. And you can pop that off, put your charger on. Same thing. It'll turn red when it's charging and green when it's finished. And in here we have some accessories. Right here we have a couple screws and an Allen wrench right there. That's to mount this. You have the MCC3 charging cable. So you plug this into your solar panel, your battery bank, power outlet, your computer, and then this goes to the light just like that. And we all know about how good those chargers are. They're fabulous. Awesome chargers. They work really well. Let's see what else is in the box here. The packaging on this is very nice. You can see that they include a couple little small zip ties to help route the wires and get the wires out of the way. So if you want to zip those back so they don't get hung up on things, that's pretty cool that they include that. Very simple, but very cool. And last but not least, in the box here, we have our owner's manual, Odin. And that's what it looks like. So feel free to pause. I'll move this slowly, but if you see anything that grabs your interest, just pause the screen and read it. Pretty much covers everything I already talked about. This is a very simple light. It's just low and high. Very, very simple. And again, it's IPX8. It's waterproof, impact resistant. On the left here, I got the Odin. And on the right, I got the M2R Pro Warrior. They're both on the pressure switch. So those beam patterns look pretty much the same. You can see that the M2R Pro Warrior appears to be just a slight bit bigger in diameter, but the brightness is the same. This light's very cool. I'm super excited about this. So I'm not gonna go drop this thing and show impact resistance. I'm not gonna put it underwater. I'm just gonna show you the light just like I did in this video review. I think this light speaks for itself. Again, you can take this off, kind of tight from the factory. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, this can swap out with the M2R Pro Warrior. So if you want an aggressive strike bezel, check that out. Boom, look at that blue accent. Doesn't that look pretty on the Odin? I think that looks bad to the bone. If you want something different on your M2R Pro Warrior, you got tired of that old look and you want a new look, look at that. That looks kind of cool, don't it? So I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. This Olight Odin, I really like it. I think it's going to do great things. I'm very happy about this. I like the different mounting options. I just think that's a cool system. Gives you a lot of options. Lock that bad boy. Where is it? Lock it. Come on. Is it on there all the way? Nope. Now it is. Lock that bad boy in so you can have that kind of an orientation. Or this kind of an orientation. So wherever you want the light to be, you can mount it that way. And I think that's cool. I think Olight's done a good job on this light. It's very simple, very effective. Now this light does have a vibrating power level indicator. So if your battery power is less than 20%, this will vibrate every 5 minutes. If the power is below 10%, it vibrates every minute. And if the power is below 5%, it'll vibrate every 10 seconds. So when you feel this light starting to vibrate, you need to get that thing charged. It reminds me of the Warrior X Pro, that vibrating power level indicator. But that is a beautiful light. I really like it. I hope you got some good, useful information out of this video, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Like this video, share this video, and as always, have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. That is cool looking. I like that aggressive strike bezel. Super cool.